Hi, and welcome back to National Blogging Collaborative's Better Blogging series. Many writers aren't entirely comfortable promoting their own work, and that's not difficult to understand. Self-promotion feels a bit like bragging. We assume that if we do good work, people will notice. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that smoothly, especially if we're not intentional about the way that we share our work with our networks. Listen, social media relationships are real relationships, and they require the same work and finesse that our live face-to-face relationships do in order to grow, develop, and serve us well. So here are a few tips to help you to build your social media relationships and to leverage your platform and your networks to serve you well. First, be authentic, but be conscious of your brand. Keep your photos consistent across social media platforms so people will recognize you, and be very intentional about your profile, your bio, your About Me page. You have very limited real estate to tell your story here, so every word counts. When I want to know more about a person, I go to their profile. What do you do? Second, promote your posts actively across all of your social media channels. Remember that each social media platform has a very different character. So with this in mind, follow the conventions of the medium whenever possible. For instance, Instagram is a visual storytelling platform. So the main focus of a post on Instagram will be a compelling visual, either a photograph or an original graphic design that highlights a profound quote or some segment of your post that you wish to highlight. Also, take advantage of as many hashtags as you can on Instagram, because here, more is better. Don't forget to include a link to your post in your bio and to direct your followers there to find it. Psychology shows us that more people will click on and read your post if it's shared with an image. Now, this is a no-brainer. Include a photograph or an engaging graphic to make sure that you capture the intention of your intended audience. Now, this is great news for Twitter users, because in a recent shift in how it counts its characters, Twitter will not include photos in the 140 character count. This means that a well-placed image will not limit your voice in the written word, and images are always great on Facebook. However, hashtags are a different story for both of these social spaces. More than 2 or 3 hashtags is really overkill. So choose 2 or 3 groups that really represent the audience that you're trying to reach, an audience with whom your post might resonate, and then tag away. Third, give far more value, far more often than you make an ask. Whether you believe it or not, your work is providing value to the field. You are an expert. But there are other ways to provide value in the social media world to ensure that when you post your content, your network will read it, will engage with you, and will share it off to the next level. Empowering others through your work is a great way to develop a reputation for being both smart and strategic. When you mention a colleague in your post, mention them on social media as well. A person is much more likely to share a post that makes them shine. If you think a post is of a particular interest to a person, go ahead and mention them. They might share, they might not. That isn't something you have control over. What you do have control over is getting that post in front of them, period. So how often do we share? When promoting a new post, there are no clear-cut rules or guidelines, but you can use this heuristic as a guide. Share your link to your post 2 to 3 times per day over a period of about 3 days. Pay particular attention to the time that your intended audience is most active on social media. For example, teachers tend to be most active after 3 p.m. for a brief period, and then again later on in the evenings. If your post doesn't get the kind of attention that you want it to the first day, try sharing it a different time. Now, no matter how great your writing is, there are times that a post just doesn't catch on, and that's okay. Just move on to your next piece. Whether it didn't resonate or the timing was off, as authors, we aren't at liberty to control what our audience finds interesting or important at any given time. And you never know, when the timing is right, someone might just happen upon your idea and do all the work for you to resurrect it in the social media space. So, it just might not be over. And finally, what not to do. There's a fine line between self-promotion and bragging. Bragging, even when it's humble bragging, is annoying to your followers, and you just might lose them. So do not mention everyone by handle in repetitive tweets each time you publish a new blog post. Similarly, if a colleague is featured in a piece that you're promoting, do not post it and tag them repetitively. While this is initially flattering, it will get old quick when the notifications just won't quit. Do not seek out feedback in an aggressive way after you have shared a piece of work. If a colleague wishes to comment, they will, trust me. Do not tweet links to your blogs in conversations, Twitter chats, or other interactions unless it's specifically requested. The bottom line is don't get wrapped up in the me of it all. Social media, by definition, is social. It's about the we, so have conversations. So I hope to see you out there promoting your work like a pro. And as always, we hope it helped.